Oh, hey, perfect timing. So I wanted to ask you about something. Wait, you're not Eve? What are you? It's such a pretty cursed skit for Kirby's Adventure if you ask me. Anyways, Kirby's Adventure isn't the first Kirby game ever. However, it is the earliest Kirby console game. It has a lot going for it even though it's just an NES game. But does it hold up to today? Kirby's Adventure made its way to the NES on March 23rd, 1993 in Japan, and on May 1st, 1993 in North America. Pretty strange putting it on the NES as the SNES was already out by that time. This is the second Kirby game ever made, coming out a year after Kirby's Dream Land. But this was the first console Kirby game, and to think that a circle wouldn't end up getting a 3D title for another 29 years. Wow. This game is almost 30. How? There isn't much to say about how the game controls. It's as simple as an NES game or a Kirby game is. Move with the left or right buttons, jump with a button, inhale with a button, and if you want to continue jumping in the air, press upwards. See? Simple. I will say, the movement is pretty clunky, but what else do you expect from an NES game? The best controls ever? As with any Kirby game, this game includes the ability to copy abilities. It is pretty limited because, well, NES. But this is actually the first game that includes the copy ability. It actually has a whopping 25 copy abilities, which is a lot for the first game with this feature. And yes, sleep does exist in this game too. This does, however, get rid of the items from the last game, but I would say the copy abilities are more than just a substitute. Imagine if Kirby games nowadays didn't have copy abilities and instead had the items from Dreamland. The game isn't too difficult, but I would say that it does have its charm. It's pretty relaxing to play. Until the Meta Knight fight, but that battle wasn't too difficult. There are 8 worlds in total. Each world does have a hub where you can walk around, go to a level, go to the next world, or do a mini game. There are about 5 levels in each world, so it is a pretty lengthy game. However, levels aren't very long, so I take back what I just said. With 8 worlds come 8 bosses. They aren't that hard, but sometimes the game just starts lagging and kind of causes some difficulty to the fights. But that's as far as it goes. To be honest, I really can't say much about this game. I mean, it's the only Kirby game on the NES, but there isn't much going on. For an NES game, there are absolute bangers in this game. Like when you start the first level, it hits you with a great classic, aka Vegetable Valley 1. Then when you get to a boss, it hits you with another banger. Even at an underwater level, there is such an underrated song in my opinion. I only say that because Orange Ocean is my favorite Kirby song of all time. The best way to explain the music in this game is Hyper, which is a theme that got carried out with all Kirby games in the series. I gladly accept this. Alright, so the story. Well, that's the story. Hope you enjoyed. Whoa there! There is a story. So Kirby was sleeping and then woke up. He realized that he had no dreams and thought something was suspicious. Then he went to go check on the Star Rod, which, long story short, allows the Kirby world to have dreams. He goes there and finds King Dedede just chilling, and it turns out he destroyed the Star Rod to 7 pieces and spread it around the world. So it's Kirby's duty to restore the dreams of Dreamland by getting all Star Rod pieces. However, right when Kirby was going to restore the Fountain of Dreams, he stumbled upon Nightmare, who was trying to overtake Dreamland. Kirby fights Nightmare's ball form in a Toho-like game, and then fights the being himself. After he defeats Nightmare, Dreamland can now have dreams again. And to think Dedede was actually helping Kirby by hiding the Star Rod away from Nightmare. The start of a friendship, kind of. It's a pretty simple story. Take notes, Gravity Rush.
In terms of graphics, I'd say this is one of the best looking NES games. Like, have you seen that one part where the game tries to recreate a 3D structure on an 8-bit console? This is hands down the greatest looking game on the NES. Whatever Sakurai did to make this happen, well, it worked. There are 3 mini games you have, and my favorite one is the quick draw one. In challenge mode, how are you even supposed to react quick enough on stage 4? It's pretty fun. There's also a boss rush after you beat the game. What can I say? It's a boss rush. You just fight through every boss in order without a power up, unless you're able to get one from the boss fight. Overall, Kirby's Adventure is one of the greatest NES games. I would even say that this is my favorite NES game.
If you have a way to play this game, by all means do. It isn't as fleshed out and easy to control as more recent games, but it isn't too difficult to play. I would highly recommend this game, as I would say this is one of the best NES games out there. That says a lot because there aren't many NES games that hold up to today's standards. I will always remember Kirby's Adventure as one of the greatest Kirby games ever. Now if Kirby inhaled me, would he look as cursed as Kirby from the Skit?